Got married in July. I found his second phone at the end of August. I think I'm finally ready to address the elephant in the room. I say I think because I don't know if this post will ever see the light of day. Obviously, I'm no longer married. That is a beautiful coffee. Look at my little heart mug from the dollar store. Fitting for this. Anyways, here we go, I guess. So yes, I'm not married. I haven't been married for a long time. Truthfully, I don't feel like I ever even got married. I don't feel like I ever had a husband. I don't feel like I was ever a wife besides my wedding day. That is because 1 month after my wedding, I found my husband's second phone. Second, right. I wasn't sure when or if or how, honestly, I was ever going to share this, but I feel like a lot of people have found me through my wedding content, which now feels so embarrassing. But I didn't know how I was just going to show up again on social media being like, my life is different. I live in a different house. And the man that was constantly in my post that I never forced him to be in, by the way, a very willing, active participant, no longer exists in my life. So yeah. I didn't know how to tell the internet, let alone anybody else in my life. And I found out everything that he was doing had been going on, that I would assume, the entire 10 years that we were together. That has a major toll on your mental. I didn't know how to tell anyone, especially because we just had a destination wedding. The wedding was amazing. One thing I will say, I don't regret that because I know how to throw a fucking party. I had the best week with my best friends. Was he even there? Not in my memories. We all had the best time, and that's all that matters. Anyways, where was I going with this? This is gonna be all over the place. I've thought about how I wanted to make this video so many times, and I think the best way to do it is just a word vomit. I don't know. So I left my husband, and then I didn't tell anyone for a year. Then one day I had a little bit too much to drink, and I was like, hey guys, wanna hear a funny story to a couple of my friends? And immediately, once I did that, I was just the fattest weight ever was lifted off my shoulders. And then I could start telling people. Then I accidentally went on a work trip. We went to a bar all together. 2 of my coworkers knew the story. And then I made out with a random guy in the bar and accidentally hard lunched my divorce in front of everybody. But at least we didn't have to have the conversation. So that worked. I'm very thankful that I'm a very independent person, but I wasn't in the situation where I could just up and leave immediately. So we were living together for multiple months until I figured my shit out and got somewhere else to live. He lives with his parents. Those were the absolute worst months of my life. The constant fighting. He thought that we were gonna save the relationship. I knew from the second that I saw what I saw, I'm out. There's no coming back from that. I'm out. Obviously, when you're with somebody for a literal decade, it was from when I was 20 to when I was 30. You ruined my 30th birthday majorly. Also, thank you so much for that. You think maybe you can work it out. But then as more time passes and you find out more things and you're begging somebody, please just give me the whole entire truth right now so that I can take it. And they keep trickle-truthing you. And then you find out more lies. You find out more fucked up shit. Yeah, so anyways, I had to go. I just dropped off the face of the planet. I stopped doing things with my friends. I stopped responding to text messages. I stopped posting on social media because I was posting about my wedding for 2 years. How am I supposed to post on social media? Right. I knew at the end of the day, life is too short. I'm too young and I'm way too hot to be sad and miserable and trying to fix it. You know what? Kudos to people I wouldn't say kudos, but props to people that stay and really try and work it out and fix it. But for me, I knew that that would always be in the back of my mind, and I didn't want to live the rest of my life always wondering if they're fucking me over. And they probably would have been. So anyways, I felt like I just didn't know how to tell people because it was so embarrassing. 1, the nature of what he was doing was so embarrassing for me. And 2, as somebody who's always been a really high achiever and somebody who, not to eat my own ass, doesn't fail very often, I felt like I failed at love, I failed at a marriage, I failed at being an adult. And then to see the way that I had been betrayed, I was just like, what did I miss? How did I, what? Every single person in my life was like, he did what? Nobody saw it coming. There was no, we're only gonna, you guys did, there wasn't that. Everybody was the next level shocked. Then, again, this is all over the place. His parents lied to us about coming to the wedding in Mexico until the day before the wedding. We had our final meeting with our coordinators and paid our final deposits, whatever, paid for every person. We get home from that meeting and there's a message from his mom saying, actually, we're not gonna make it. We're not coming. The wedding is tomorrow. What do you mean you're not? Okay, got it. To me, that was unforgivable. And then we got home from the wedding and he was like, I love my family. And I was like,
yo, it's your boy Schoolie. Welcome back to another episode of NBH TV, Not You Born Hustlers TV. And that right there tells me a lot about this relationship that she's talking about. Anytime the mama and the daddy don't come to the funeral. Damn, I said funeral. It was basically a funeral, but the wedding, that means a lot because they not feeling her at all, man. And as much as she want to be in denial, but people who miss their son first wedding ever, then it's definitely some turmoil that's going on, and the family ain't really rocking with her, so that's the reason why. And as you can see, he love his family, so he a family man, or he a mama's boy, or daddy's boy, or however you want to put it. But that's already a red flag. Something ain't going right. But you know what I'm saying? To each his own. Me personally, that's a deal breaker for me. If my family can't get along with you, then I can't get along with you. Sorry, love. That's just me. But hey, let's keep going. Stay tuned. See you soon.
What? And then that was a whole other can of worms. He was like, well, you can't forgive her. And I'm like, no, actually. And why are you? Anyways, I'm not trying to air my dirty laundry on the internet. Truthfully, that is the smallest of the situation. Now it's been a year and a half. I've gone to therapy. I've talked it out with my friends. I've done my research. I've done my healing. I've had some fun. I live in a beautiful new house. I have my dogs. I feel like I have my shit together. I did let the wheels fall off a little bit. Warranted, I feel like, for my situation. That's another thing is I'm so proud of myself because I feel like I lost nothing but him. I took the time to mourn my old life and the life that I thought that I was going to have, but it wasn't like our lives could do this, which I guess in hindsight, it's like a bad sign. I feel like he probably lost a lot of friends and a lot of people in his life, and my parents loved him like a son, but I'm like, I'm cool. But for everyone wondering, I did get horribly betrayed and cheated on, and I have done everything that I can to be mature about the situation because, oh my God, I could ruin your life. But it's none of this is about him and everything is about me. Also, since sharing, I feel like so many people have reached out to me in similar situations and it's made me feel way less alone. So if you can relate, I'm here, babe. I get it. Unfortunately, I get it. Moral of the story, you feel like you're not going to make it. I didn't think I was going to make it. Life goes on, and sometimes life gets better.
You know me, you know that I am so pro live, laugh, leave your man. And if you don't know me, hi, I'm Taylor. I'm president of the club. Nice to meet you. Let me catch you up. A couple days ago actually should have been my 2-year wedding anniversary. However, I'm actually going on 2 years of being single. So that would be because 1 month after my amazing destination wedding that I planned for 2 years, I found my husband's second phone. After we were together for 10 years. 10! A decade. If he has no control of his emotions, fucking run. I used to think, oh, men are just a little hot-tempered. No, not all of them. If he's quick to pop his top, if he's gonna yell, if he's gonna raise his voice, if he's gonna call you names, first of all, I'm a woman. So why would you even consider doing that to me? Second of all, take a deep breath. Babe, that's a lot of big emotions. We gotta learn how to handle them. I do not want an angry man in my house. I do not want my kids to ever grow up with an angry man in my house. You gotta go. He doesn't have a provider mindset. I'm not saying you're my human wallet, but I am saying I am a cute little pretty princess and you should want to take care of me. You don't have to be able to pick up the hammer and build me a house, but you should want to. If you even sense that he might have a wandering eye, burn him at the stake. That's a witch. Gotta go. I absolutely will not ever stand for that again. There's no fucking way in hell I'm gonna embarrass myself by seeing my man's likes or, God forbid, a comment under another bitch's post. I'm just not. If you're following Instagram models, if you're replying to someone's story, if you're hitting the heart, if you're in someone's DMs, I will not be embarrassed like that ever again. Bye. That tells me you have no respect for me and no discipline, and a man that is not disciplined is a goddamn headache. And I am a very disciplined girl, so there's no fucking way I'm dealing with that. Leaving out details when you're talking to your family or your friends, leave. Don't leave the details out, leave him. You have to edit the story in any way? No, we're not doing that, because why are you protecting a man that's not protecting you? If he is not a good gift giver, leave. And again, this has nothing to do with money, although I do love a good gift. If he stops at the corner store on the way home and he gets you the wrong flavor of chips, do an orange Gatorade, but your favorite flavor is blue, leave. Because over the years, I've learned that to be loved is to be known, and consideration is now my biggest thing. And if you can't get those little things right, you're not gonna get the big things right. On that same note, if a man wants a mom instead of a wife, leave. I love me a gender role. I'll cook, I'll clean if you're paying the bills. For being a man, no problem. I love to be a wife. However, I'm not your maid. I'm not your mom. Again, do you consider me? Do you know me? It's feeling like no. it's feeling like I'm leaving. If he's a defensive man, baby, run for the hills. I will never beg a man to see something from my side or understand my feelings ever again. If you don't want to listen, I don't want to be here. I could give you 100 reasons why you should leave a man. You are the love of your own life and you're in control of how things go. I don't care if it's been 10 years, leave. I don't care if you have a kid with him, leave. I don't care if it's going to be so hard, leave. Because nothing is harder than staying and being miserable. Being on the other side, babe, let me tell you, it feels pretty good. No complaints.
This second video, I add context to the type of woman she is, and a lot of the stuff she is on point with, but this young lady got a lot to learn, and sometimes it's best to be single, you know what I'm saying? When you get hurt, I respect the people that actually take the time and get themselves back. I hate a motherfucker who get out of a relationship and jump right back into a relationship, or get divorced and right back in a relationship. Worry about you, get your stuff together, and then from now it'll all work out. You just got to give it a second, man. We can't rush this. We got to actually plan it through and actually take the time to find out who are you, and then from there you'll know what you want, because a lot of time we find ourselves living in other people's frame and putting what we want to do on the back burner, which ain't cool, man. You got to definitely live for you. But it's your boy Schoolie, and if you here, make sure you follow, subscribe. I don't know what platform you on, but if you made it this far, fuck with you, man. It's your boy Schoolie, and tune me again, my friend. I'm out.